What's up? Welcome back for another episode of the Currency Club. This show is all about providing education and inspiration for those of you who are desiring to start a business or a side hustle or generate some extra money. But after you get that money, what you do with it is just as important. How are you going to save your money? How are you going to spend your money? How are you going to invest your money to really live the lifestyle that you desire? So today's special guest is Tara Jones-Williamson, and she is a financial success coach and the owner of Your Pretty Pennies.
Hey girl, hey, I'm Tara Jones, financial success coach and lifestyle designer over at yourprettypennies.com. I am a financial success coach, self-taught financial success coach who helps individuals use their income to create the lifestyle that they desire. I've paid off over $60,000 in debt in less than 2 years. And so most people come to me when they really want to learn how to create a budget, get their finances under control, and pay off massive amounts of debts.
All right. So why did you start this business?
Girl, I started this business because I needed to be the person who I needed. So back in 2009, I became a single mother to my daughter. I had $0 in the bank. And so I really was kind of thrown into adulthood at that point. I'm the youngest of 6, so I really didn't have any financial acumen. I was in smack dab in the middle of college. So I used my income immediately on clothes and shoes and going out and on my car. And so once I had my daughter, I really had to put my big girl panties on and really learn how to manage money. For the remaining of my college career, I ended up self-studying and getting a minor in finance, but also self-studying alongside on how to do things like pay off debt, build a business, generate wealth, different questions that I had that, school wasn't teaching. If you go to school for finance, they'll teach you about stocks. They'll teach you about supply and demand and all those other things, but they do not teach you how to manage money on a monthly basis. They don't teach you how to increase your income and decrease your expenses month after month. And so those things I had to self-study in order to get me and my daughter on a better financial footing.
Okay, so let's get into all of these goods and services that you offer your customers. So financial success coaching, she has a financial planner, a zero-based budget template, a budget mastery binder. She's also a keynote speaker. She could be your facilitator or host a workshop, and she offers courses. Let's start out with the financial coaching.
Like you just mentioned, I have a host of things that I offer individuals and couples because over the last 6-7 years of doing one-on-one coaching and also speaking engagements and working with people individually, I realized that there are different needs for different individuals. Some people like to do courses, so I do have a financial course. Some people want to work one-on-one with me. That's when the financial success coaching program came about, where I work with you for 6 months and help you set up your finances, set up your goals, and really break down what you need to do on a monthly basis in order to achieve those goals.
Let's get into the physical products because I imagine as you coach these people, you need tools, resources, templates, and things like that to get your point across or make whatever you're teaching sustainable.
Yeah, so the first product that I actually created was the financial planner, which is the ultimate financial planner, how to set, plan, achieve your financial goals in 12 months or less. And that is what I call my first baby, my first love, because that was the first offering that I actually had in my business. And that actually was the templates that I used in order for me to pay off thousands of dollars in less than 2 years. I actually, once I was done doing that, before I even thought to start Your Pretty Pennies, I just created those templates for myself to help keep my money and my bills and everything else intact. So then the other things that I offer is the zero-based budgets template. That is a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, or you can use it on Google Sheets. The good thing about that online budget is that as soon as you download it, it's already formulated to where all you got to do is plug in your numbers, and it will show you how much money you have in income, how much money you already have in expenses, and how much left you have over to go towards your financial goal. So that's one thing I really love about the online budget template. Now, the third thing that I offer is for my individuals who like to build their own budget binder. So the third thing is different from the financial planner and is different from the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. It's actually a downloadable template to where you can make your own sheets. You can choose which templates you want in order to help you manage your money. And it has a little bit more templates that is offered than what is offered in the Ultimate Financial Planner. So that's the one thing I really love about the Build Your Own Bundle spreadsheets, because they really help you get a robust picture of your finances and help you kind of pick and choose and plug and play which one of them you need and which one of them you don't.
You host workshops, you facilitate conversations, you have been a keynote speaker. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I love talking, as you can see. I am a talker by nature. That's one of my strong suits. And so I love going to places and spaces where groups are and talking about money. I love to talk about money in a way that is super relevant, super fresh, super current, but not too stuffy, right? Sometimes when we start talking about money, we can get a little bit tense. We get a little bit, shy, or whatever the case is. We start judging ourselves for our past financial mistakes. And so one thing I like to do is, number one, help individuals realize that you are not your past financial mistakes. And you too, just like I did, can overcome anything in your past, including your financial mistakes, in order to set yourself up for success in the future. And so individuals and groups always hire me to come in and kind of ignite their audience, give them some tips and inspiration and motivation around managing money in a better way.
So money can obviously be a touchy topic. And I think part of the reason some people are reluctant to talk about it is because, number one, they're embarrassed about maybe some of the decisions they made in the past, as you hinted around to. There's always this thing where we're comparing each other. Does that person make more money than me? Do they drive a better car, have a better house? Whatever. Like, we're always comparing. We're always comparing, and comparison is the thief of joy, is what I was trying to say. How do you build trust so that they will open up and be honest with you? Like, this is what I did 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Shoot, it could have been 2 days ago, for them to disclose what they're doing so that you can better help them.
Yeah, so my number one thing is authenticity, right? I lead with my own financial mishaps. So not only do I have a minor degree in finance, not only did I self-study and do all this stuff, but I also talk about, oh, sis, I made mistakes too. Bro, I made mistakes too. That's one thing that is major about my brand and about my business. It's a no judgment zone. There's nothing that you've done that somebody else did not do, probably including me. You might have different numbers attached to your financial mistakes, but oh, trust me, we've all made those mistakes. I was in the trenches with you. I was in that financial rut with you. And if I can make it out, a single Black mother in a city where I was making minimum wage as a college student and then triple my income and go on to pay off over $60,000 in debt and have money in the bank and repair my credit, you can too.
Can I ask you to share a couple pieces of your story to provide tips about how you were able to do that?
Okay, so the first thing that I did, Whitney, in order to really transform my finances, I had to take a look at where I was. And oftentimes I tell individuals, yes, this is the hardest step, but it's the best step. And once you are over this step, it gets easier. Financial planning, picking yourself up, your financial level up goes up from here. You got to pull that credit report. You're going to have to face that credit score. You're going to have to look at your bank account. You're going to have to look at that student loan payment, how much you got, your student loan balance, excuse me. You're going to have to look at how much you owe that credit card company that's trying to collect on you. You're going to have to look at how much is left on your car payment, whatever type of debt it is, you're going to have to look at it. You need to know where you're starting from in order to make a plan, in order to move forward. So that's the first thing, was starting from there. And then the second thing is really identifying your income sources. Here on Currency Club, I know Whitney talks a lot about creating more income streams and just generating more currency so you can really live the life that you desire. That is a really big thing, is looking at your income and saying, okay, here's my income, here's my expenses. My income minus my expenses equals what number? And that number that you get is what you can use to help transform your finances, to help achieve a financial goal, to help start a business, to help do whatever you're going to do that will transform your finances. And so those were the first two things, was to look at my numbers.
So now I want to transition and still talk about your products and services, but I want to learn more about the courses that you offer, because I feel like we live in this generation where online training and courses is very important, but it just allows people to move at their own pace, do things in the privacy of their own home, and at a time that's convenient for them. Because you talked about being a single mother at one point, and I know a lot of people watching the show may be in a very similar situation. So let's talk about your online courses.
This is my signature course called the Financial Reset Online Academy. It is perfect for anyone who wants to press the reset button on their finances. All those years ago, back in 2012, when I started paying off $60,000 in debt, I created a plan for myself. That plan I basically replicated inside the Financial Reset Online Academy. I give you the 7 steps I did in order to set and achieve a financial goal, in order to redo my budget, in order to start building income streams into my budget, in order to decrease my expenses, in order to build savings, in order to start paying off massive amounts of debt. All that information in my step-by-step tutorials is inside the Financial Reset to help individuals at their own pace go from being stuck in their financial rut to pressing that reset button to really living a life of financial freedom.
All right. So in your bio, it says one of your goals is to educate and empower women to basically make good financial decisions. But in the intro of this, you also talked about how you do coaching or consulting with couples. And I imagine some men can be sprinkled in the mix too. So who is your target customer?
My target customer is women. So I can identify with women, especially single mothers and individuals who they're the only person bringing in income in their household. That is my specialty. However, financial principles are universal, as we both know. So if you have money, if you're generating income, if you have expenses, you can use my tips, tricks, tools, strategies, and wisdom to get the same results.
I mean, that's what I was anticipating you to say. I just needed the world to know because we got a lot of male viewers who watch the show. I have a lot of male guests on the show. But then also, I know a lot of men who make poor spending decisions. They are living outside of their means. And it's no shade to y'all, men. Women do the same thing. But men sometimes live outside of their means, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Your last name is Jones, maybe pun intended. But anyway, they out here buying designer stuff, right? They got
because they're trying to impress us.
Sneakers. They are impressing us.
Trying to impress us.
We going to the 5-star restaurants. Like,
one thing I would love to say to my fellas is to definitely put dating in your budget. So a lot of y'all are going out, spending money, taking women out to get to know them. Y'all on these apps, y'all on these dating sites, your homeboys hooking y'all up with chicks. And so y'all are spending just to get to know women. And so if you do not put it in your budget, you will find yourself at the end of the month trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, or waiting on funds to come in order to cover your rent or bills or your car note because you spent a little bit too much money, like you said, at a 5-star restaurant or a 4-star restaurant, or taking a trip somewhere. So definitely make sure when you are thinking about your monthly financial plan that you include how much you're going to spend on dates that month.
Yes, major key, major key. So Tara, what is your best-selling product or service?
The Financial Reset Online Academy. Because with that, you get a full picture of what it's like to work one-on-one with me without the bill. So as we all know, working exclusively with someone comes at a higher price than getting an online course or something like that. I just basically replicated me being your financial success coach inside of the Financial Reset Online Academy. And so that's always my number 1 seller. But my number 2 seller actually is my financial success coaching program, because there are a lot of people who come to me because the accountability piece is missing. So if you are great at accountability, and if you buy a course, you're going to complete it, you're going to take those steps in order to complete and get your money's worth out of your investment of a course, I definitely suggest a Financial Reset. But then there are individuals who's like, unless I got somebody holding my hand, checking in with me, telling me what I'm doing right or wrong, I'm not going to do it. Those are my clients who thrive in the Financial Success Coaching Program.
So with your coaching program, I think you mentioned a 6-month commitment. Is that accurate?
Yes.
But what if I'm not ready? What if I just want to talk to you on the phone for an hour and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. I think I'm on the right track. Can I have your feedback? Or I bought your template online. I want to make sure I'm using this correctly. Like, can I just buy an hour of your time, or does it have to be this 6-month commitment?
So yes, typically people will email me at info@yourprettypennies.com if they have a quick question or if they want to get in touch with me. Also, you can DM me on Instagram or on Facebook. I'm very easy to get in touch with, and I love chatting back and forth with my clients and with my customers who buy my products. And so oftentimes I will chat with you about troubleshooting or giving you tips and tricks about any products that you have bought from me free of charge. Like you don't even have to pay for my time because I want you to get the best out of it. But yeah, I do offer a free discovery call that we talk about your financial goals and then how I can help you achieve them. And you can go to my website at yourprettypennies.com/financial success coaching. And you can click the link and schedule that.
All right. So now that we all know the goods and services that you offer, I want to transition and talk about like the skill set, training, and certification that a person would need to do this type of work. And you did already touch on it. You already said you have a minor in
finance.
You said that you were self-taught. Like have you done any other certification programs?
I have not done any other certification programs, but you can. My advice is you can self-teach, which takes longer than getting a certification, right? So when you go through a program, whether it's on how to be a great coach or how to be a financial success coach or how to be a financial planner or anything in this sector, like it just expedites your expertise. When you are self-taught, you're literally relying on your experience to become an effective coach, become an effective consultant, become an effective, for me, financial success coach, right? And so my education paired with my experience is what certifies me in order to help get the results for my clients. If there's somebody who's just starting out and they don't want to take the next 7 years, 6-7 years developing themselves, developing their personal development and their business acumen, there are certified programs that you can take. So that's kind of like the difference in this field. It's very unregulated because we don't offer, financial success coaches do not offer investment advice. So you will never hear me tell you what to do as far as where to invest your money. I will always outsource that and give you a referral for someone who can do that. You absolutely have to be certified for that. But to give advice on how to pay off debt, how to get your financial life right, how to set financial goals, how to really level up in your finances before you're ready to invest, that doesn't require any certification.
What do you think are the top 3 skills needed to do the type of work that you do?
Your clients are coming to you as the expert. So you have to be the one that brings the level of excellence. So you have to be the one to bring the level of accountability to the picture. You have to be the one to keep everything on the straight and narrow. So you have to be able to cultivate a space between you and a client to where you keep them on track, you keep them focused, you keep them motivated, you keep them excelling and moving forward to their goal. The next thing I will say, you have to be extremely personable. If you are not likable and personable, nobody's going to want to talk to you. Nobody's going to want to be around you, especially in your personal life. So the same thing goes for if you want to be a coach of any kind. You have to be personable. You have to be likable. You have to be accommodating. You have to be gentle and caring and empathetic and sympathetic and all those different things. And then the third thing, you have to be a self-starter. No one's holding your hand as a business owner, making sure you get your clients these results, making sure you on the back end are doing the client work and have a lot of self-discipline in order to show up for yourself and your business day in and day out.
So now I want to transition and talk about the money. So how do you make money from these businesses and services you offer?
Any financial success coach in the game, their target audience might come to them for different things. And so in any one of these areas, they can generate more income than the next person, right? So for me, my number one is coaching one-on-one. That brings in the most money per month. And then the second thing is keynote speaking and speaking engagements, workshop facilitation. So speaking is second. The third is the financial reset. So of course, having an online course does generate nice income. And then the last thing is my products like the financial planner, the digital downloadable budget template, and also the budget binder. Those were the last things that come in as far as income.
So with your coaching, do you require people pay a deposit? Do they pay a lump sum up front?
So people can pay upfront if they want. They can pay in full, or they can pay it's half now and half in 3 months. So either one. Some people like to pay upfront just to get the bill out the way. I'm that type of person. I don't like having a lot of payments coming out of my income each month. So if I'm offered a service, let's say, for example, I use Bluehost for my website, right? You can do the monthly payment. You can do the every 3 months, or you could pay a yearly fee, for your service with Bluehost. I'm the type of person who would pay all up for the year.
And for someone who's maybe just getting started in this work, what would you recommend they charge for the various service you offer? Speaking from experience, sometimes when you do public speaking, you do the work for free. Build a name for yourself, get your name out there, network, and then that puts you in the room with people who can book you later to kind of give you the paid
and that's
speaker
exactly what I
engagements.
did when I first started speaking. Wow, that was in 2015. Yeah, a lot of them were free, a lot of them were at local, so I wouldn't say do free speaking outside of the local area, because then that gets into you paying for your own plane ticket, you paying for your own hotel and your meals and everything like that. I do not suggest that, but I would get some local traction, which is what I did, pitching to people, say, hey, I can come speak to your group. Hey, I can come speak at your conference. Hey, I can do this. Hey, I can do that, in order to build your confidence for yourself. But then also, like you said, build your acumen, build your repertoire to where you can start charging more. And so numbers as far as how much you should charge should be based on what you intuitively feel. I don't think there's such thing as charging too little or too much. When I say that, I'm saying, like, in the beginning, I don't think somebody should be judged if they only charge a little bit. There's other entrepreneurs out here who are like, oh my gosh, you should have charged more, and then they'll shame you for not charging more. I don't agree with that, because it's all about what you're comfortable with asking. On the flip side, once you become an expert in your field, once you got to 10,000 hours under your belt and you are highly sought after, you should be increasing your prices. So, and you shouldn't allow anyone to tell you that you charge too much either, because what you want is what you want, period. And I also believe that you should charge based on what it is you need in order to show up effectively. As a mother of 3 and a wife, if somebody wants me to come speak outside of my states, I need a hotel. I need
per diem for food for me.
Period. Right? I need the flight. I need all these different things, right? But I also need transportation, right?
Is there a car picking me up? Are you paying for a rental? Am I Ubering? Like, we need to talk about all of this stuff.
So all of that, plus, because I have 3 children and I'm going to be out the home, my nanny needs to get paid in order to help facilitate things run smoothly in my absence. So that should be included in my pay. If my kids are not secure, I'm not able to show up effectively. And so if you want me as a speaker versus another woman who doesn't have any children, my rates will change based on that. So oftentimes people have to take into consideration, what do you require? Do you make sure you get your hair and nails done? Do you always wear a certain type of wig that you need to have fresh every month? Whatever that looks like for you to show up as your brand, that's what should be included in your rate for people to pay you.
I like that. And I also want people to know who are operating in this consulting space or this, maybe small business owner space. What Tara was talking about, the requirements, if someone books you to go out of state and you are talking about your accommodations and they want to put you in a shady hotel or, half do stuff, that is not acceptable. You can make certain requests or requirements for where you're staying, the type of restaurant you're eating at, travel, all that. So don't just accept the first offer that a person gives you, because people will pay for what they want. And if they find value in you, they're going to accommodate you. So I really like the way that you phrased it with, what are your requirements? Because that's what people need to be thinking about.
My mentor, who is also a speaker, told me that in her contracts for speaking, she tells them, which type of hotel. So she only stays at Hilton hotels or Marriott hotels. And, those are pretty much in every major city, in every major state. So you're not going to have the ability to book her in no shady hotel, because it got to be a Marriott or a Hilton brand, period.
So how did you determine the price for, say, your financial planner and your online courses?
So I look at the market value, and then I look at the value that it's going to give my customer or client. For example, my financial planner is $24.99 plus free shipping. So I know for a fact that people love free shipping, especially my millennials, and millennial women is my target audience. So I definitely needed to make sure I put fast and free shipping, because in the age of Amazon, where you get everything in a day or two, people are like, oh, I don't have to pay extra for shipping. okay, I will pay this price. And then the $24.99 is a comparable price for a financial planner that you can keep for 24 months.
So what about your production costs? Did you like get a bunch of planners printed in bulk and you have them at your house and you just mail them out when a person orders them? Yes. So
Yes.
you're not doing any
Yes.
type of print on demand? Let's talk about that.
No. I used to do print on demand. So, and if you order a large order, I will do print on demand, especially if it's months in advance. I use Amazon, but now it's called Kindle Direct Publishing. So, yeah, now it's on KDP. I'll pay about $5.75 in order for it to be created and shipped to me. My orders start to get so big per month to where I needed to ship from my home. I can go into just Create Space. Now it's called KDP. And every time I got an order, I would basically drop ship it to them, where I would just put in the information of the customer and then have it shipped from Amazon to my customer. However, after a couple of years ago, that timeline that it used to ship from Amazon or KDP to my customer would take almost a month. Something happened back in 2019 or 2020, and it caused such a delay in their shipping process. And so now I'm like, I can't have that affecting my business and my brand offering fast and free shipping. So now what I do is I order all of my planners in bulk from KDP, have them at my house, and then I ship them out whenever I get orders from my house. But if I have like a big bulk order that they don't need it for like a month or two, I will just ship straight from KDP to them. And usually colleges and universities, I'll do it that way for them, because they'll want like 100 or 200 at a time.
So for those of you who don't know, I actually wrote a book on diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's always in the description box of these YouTube videos. And I give it a shout out here, here and there from time to time. But I do the same thing. I find Kindle Direct Publishing to be a very effective way to get content out to your end user.
Do you do it to where you just type in that address and then it goes straight to them, or do you have products on hand?
So I generally just put a link in the description box of these videos, or I post links on various platforms, or I'll email people a link so that they can purchase it directly. There's not as much of a sense of urgency because I didn't promise people like fast free shipping the way that you do. And I agree with you as far as purchasing them in bulk. I definitely do it that way. Like if a person wants 10 books or more, I'm definitely going the Amazon route and then just putting their information in as the place is delivered to, the person is shipped to, and the place is delivered to. Definitely.
Yeah. So in KDP, in order for you to get this discounted price, in order for you to order your own books and have an inventory on hand, you can use author copies, where basically Amazon will print them. And again, it'd be like, for mine is $5.75. Each book I can order an author copy at $5.75. But if you go on Amazon and try to buy my book as an individual, you're going to pay $24.99. So essentially, I just pay $5.75, but then I sell my product for $24.99. So basically, we're talking about what author copies is. If you have somebody who orders a bunch of books, you can basically just type in, instead of your own address, in order for you to get your inventory, you could just act like you're sending your inventory to somewhere else, pay a small price for each of those books, send it to the person who really wants those books in bulk, but you get to pocket your profit.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, it is 100% free to publish your work on Amazon, but there is a review period. It only takes like 2 days generally, but 2 days for them to review the content. You can get it published as like a Kindle version or a paperback version. And I do both. I sell both. But then beyond that, you can set the price for your product. So as Tara is mentioning, her author price might be $5 and some change. But for the viewer, the general Amazon customer, she can set a sliding scale for whatever she wants her price to be based on how she is advertising it and marketing on her website, or how much she wants it to sell for on Amazon. So, I mean, even though it's $25 on her website, she could charge something else on Amazon if she desired, because as an author, you can set the price and then you also get the discount. And then also Amazon is just a bigger market. My book is really just intended for people in West Michigan, but I put it on Amazon. I sell copies in Japan, Australia, the UK, and one other spot that I had no intention of even selling there. So this segment is called I'm a Hustler. What is the craziest thing you've ever done for money?
So I used to do extreme couponing classes at the local library and teaching other individuals, it was mostly women, how to extreme coupon in order to get money back from the stores. Now, this is before the whole FCC started, or FTC, or whoever they are, changed the laws around using coupons. When I tell you, we used to go up in the store with these coupons and get back $40, $50, $60, $70 each time we went, plus the products. The store had to pay us. It was crazy. And so I used to always host classes and teach women how to do that. So I guess that was like the funnest, the craziest, the most out of the box thing I did to make money.
I remember those days. Let me tell you that I'm friends with Tara outside of this, and I would go to her house and she would have literally stockpiles in her entryway, in her garage, shelves of stuff that she had basically got for free from couponing. So,
and then I used to turn around and sell the products, because 90% of them products I didn't use. It was just free for me to take. So not only did I get money from the store for couponing, but I also got paid by just selling the shampoo, conditioner, the Tide, the paper towels, half price to people that I knew.
Double the hustle. All right, so now I want to switch it up and talk a little bit about branding and marketing. So from the beginning, I feel like you've always done a good job with this. Like, you have a nice logo. Whenever I see these colors, like the gold sparkles and the mint green, I automatically think Your Pretty Pennies. But could you talk to us about your process for branding your business?
The first thing that I did was come up with a name. I actually worked with a graphic designer. She and I came together to talk about and develop the Your Pretty Pennies brand. She was very integral at the beginning. And that's the importance of working with like a legit graphic designer. They'll typically have like this template, and they'll ask you questions like, what are your favorite colors? What websites inspire you? Just different things. Just draw out what you want to show the world in these questions that you didn't even think you knew. And so she asked me a series of questions. I answered them, and then she proposed 2 different color schemes. And when she did the mint green, my favorite color is green. So when we did the light mint green with the black and white and the gold accent, it was just like on point. Gave me my brand package to where I had all my icons and my logos, everything else matched, to where whenever I put my name on something, it's always cohesive. So, that's where it started.
So what tip would you give to someone else who may be starting a business or wanting to rebrand? Girl, I see so many businesses online, not even a real business, not even a real LLC or no type of business. And this is no shade, but it really just be a little side hustle that somebody doing. They start this side hustle, and then 6 minutes later, they announce rebranding. Okay, girl, that's cool. But what tip would you give to a person who wants to, start a business or rebrand?
It's double-sided when it comes to that, because branding is everything and nothing at the same time. There's so many nuances to entrepreneurship and business ownership. I know individuals who have no sense of branding in their business. Only thing they have is a website, and they make thousands of dollars a month, right? And then I know people who have an amazing brand, amazing aesthetic, amazing platforms, and they don't generate hardly any income. Branding is everything when it comes to the longevity of your business and being able to be spotted and being able to create an experience for your customer. If that's important, of value for your business, for me it is. One thing Whitney just said, every time I see mint green and black and white, or mint green and gold, I think of Your Pretty Pennies, right? That's the goal. However, the mint green and the black and white and the gold is not what's generating me $1,000 a month. My business acumen is, my content is, the value that I provide is. I see so many people who give tons and tons of value and generating thousands of dollars in income on these internet streets, and their branding is not put together yet. So again, it's everything and it's nothing at the same time.
What is your number one tip for marketing?
Value, value, value. My business pillar is, I put out a ton of value and a ton of content. It's called content marketing. So that's what we provide very well in my business. So I put out a ton of videos, live streams, Instagram reels, all these different things that just provides value. Not really asking for anything, but in the links in the description box, here's how to work one-on-one with me. My goal is to provide you so much value that when you realize you have a problem in your area of finances, you cannot think of anybody else but to come to me. That is the goal for my business and my brand.
What else sets you apart?
The experience that I have with paying off over $60,000 in less than 2 years, because most individuals who come to me who inquire about my services, they are trying to get rid of student loans. They are trying to get out of a car note. They are trying to pay off past medical bills or credit card bills or something like that. And so whenever I say, hey, I'm really excellent at helping you pay off thousands of dollars in debt in a fairly short amount of time, they're like, oh, I'm listening. Because it's one thing to teach you how to create a budget. It's one thing to teach you how to do these little menial things. But if you can really move the needle on your debt to where you can use your income from now on to start paying for your business, to start reinvesting in your business, to start living the lifestyle that you desire versus always having to pay a bill that you've acquired in the past, I mean, it's a game changer.
What is your greatest challenge with running this type of business?
Being the face of my business. Especially these past 2 years, when I got married, we started blending a family. My husband brought 2 kids to the marriage and I brought 1. I took time off to blend a family. Even though I had things happening on the back end, I was working one-on-one with clients, I was not putting out content on my social media and on my YouTube channel. Day in and day out, I have comments, emails, people coming up to me in public like, when are you putting out another video? When are you creating more content? We want to hear from you. Although that's a good problem to have, it does create a sense of pressure to like, dang, I'm the face of my brand. So if I step back and do life outside of my business, which all business owners want, people are like, hey, where you at? I want you now. I want you here. I want you to create free content for me. I want you to entertain me, basically.
So what else? What are those other behind the scenes, non-glamorous things that people need to know go into this business?
When you go into business, and I've worked with clients, several of them are small business owners. So pretty much any industry across the board, there are ebbs and flows, highs and lows in your income. Each industry has their peak season to where they get their most clients and customers, and then they have their seasons of valleys where nobody's checking for them. The same thing happens with coaching and consulting. For example, my major months are October, November, December, January, February, and then it kind of drops off from March, April, and May. The summer, everybody's on vacation. Nobody's really doing conferences. Nobody really is doing programming, hiring me for speaking. I do still have coaching clients, but not as many. And then back to school time, everybody's focusing on their kids. Nobody's focusing on themselves, or they're in college, or, it's just the ebbs and flows of life. Nobody's really checking. So I really have a huge peak time between October and February that I'm highly sought after. And then although I generate income in those other months, it's nothing like my peak season. And so as a business owner, I have to make sure that I'm managing my business income in a way that I stay productive and I stay in the black, as they say, meaning like I'm not in debt. I'm not robbing Peter to pay Paul when it comes to my business expenses. I can afford everything through those lean months. And as business owners, we have to be very strategic on how we manage our money on the off season.
If you could do this all over again, would you do anything differently?
No, not a thing.
All right. So now let's switch it up and play another game. This game is called For the Culture. What is your favorite Black-owned business?
The Candy Yam here in Grand Rapids. Because their food is so good. Those yams and them greens, listen. And then my second favorite is myself, of course, period.
Okay, you a little bit humble. You put yourself second instead of first. Yeah, a couple other guests said the Candy Yam too. So yes, they getting a lot of love on the Currency Club. We might have to invite the owner in. So what is your favorite TV show or movie with a predominantly Black cast?
My favorite TV show, and it was my favorite when I was younger, and then I rewatched it recently, and it's still my favorite, Living Single.
Okay.
That was my show. Top of 2022, I rewatched all the seasons. Like I just binge watched it and loved it all over again.
Definitely for the culture. What is your greatest accomplishment with Your Pretty Pennies?
Teaching my daughter how to manage money. She'll be 13 in July. So Yay. She was born before I started this. I will say she was the reason why it prompted my intentional financial journey. But seeing her and just the way she talks. Yesterday, she had her debit card and we went to the hair store because she wanted some edge booster for her edges, right? And so she was like looking around and calculating how much it cost and seeing if there was smaller size versus the bigger size and what the value was. I mean, just her whole thought process around managing money is just so great at such an early age. I'm just thankful she won't make some of the mistakes that I made. And so that was my biggest accomplishment.
Yes, love to hear it and see it. What song or album instantly puts you in a good mood? I imagine you have some stressful days as a business owner or a mom or a
Yes,
wife. So,
lately it's been Doja Cat, Planet Her. That's been
what?
my CD. Yes, that's been my CD lately. Like, oh my goodness, I play it on Apple Music in the car, at home, cleaning.
I was not expecting that, but Doja does make some catchy music.
I don't like her mainstream songs, but the other songs on her album I love.
So now I really just want to thank Tara for all of her time, all of the insights she shared, all of the jewels she dropped throughout this interview.
This was
Okay.
awesome.
Leave the viewers with an inspirational message.
Whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. I heard that quote years ago. Actually, when I was self-studying, didn't even know I was self-studying to become a business owner. That quote was game changer because it all is mental. Everything is mental. If you tell yourself you can, you'll find a way to do it. If you tell yourself you can't, you'll talk yourself out of what you're trying to do every time.
And for the viewers, we want to encourage you to hit that subscribe button to join the club.